What we're analyzing today, and this is an assignment that we gave Tim, is a short story by Ed McBain entitled Eyewitness. So, anyone out there in the audience, I highly recommend this story. It's very solid, very entertaining, and it's very informative.
One of the things that we've talked about is that a shorthand way to find the protagonist is to find who is the first outputter. Basically, we talk about input and output, and the first outputter is not Detective Capelli, it's his partner Magruder, because Capelli starts by asking him a question and Magruder responds, so he outputs. So I was like, well, maybe it's Magruder, but then that doesn't make sense as you read the story because he's not in the story. And Detective Capelli again quickly becomes the outputter. And the same thing happens when he approaches the witness, Mr. Struthers. And Mr. Struthers starts by being the outputter because Detective Capelli asks him a question, but then it quickly switches again to where Detective Capelli's the outputter. And so I came back to Detective Capelli is the protagonist of the scene.
You came to the conclusion that the first outputter in the story was Capelli. However, it wasn't. The first couple of sentences of the story read as follows. He had seen a murder, and the sight had sunken into the brown pits that were his eyes. He sat now with his hat in his hands, his fingers nervously exploring the narrow brim. Okay, so Struthers gets an input. He sees a murder, and then he outputs a behavior, which is to arrive at the police station. He outputted a behavior. He's the first outputter based upon something that happened to him. So actually, Struthers is the first outputter. And it's tricky because we often think of the outputter in terms of dialogue as opposed to in terms of input and output beats. There's a means by which the narrator can do inputs and outputs that don't require dialogue.